I'm just getting hooked up here in a second. I'm live streaming, not just on my YouTube channel, but my TikTok account. And TikTok, YouTube does not do this. TikTok sends out invitations to followers. They let people know that I've gone live. I don't believe that YouTube does that. Two different platforms. I am on both. I'm on multiple platforms. I've been doing this for a long time, so I do use multiple platforms. If you're new, I do recommend you pick one social media platform and you do it until you master it. Um, because you want to get really good with one and then you can move on with another. That's what I did. I started with Facebook after I lost my job. So if you are new, I do recommend that you only start with one social media platform. If you've never been on one of my lives before, comment yes in the comments. Whether you're on my YouTube channel or you're on my TikTok account, I am live streaming in two places. TikTok does show me who's getting on. YouTube does not. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, Ken. Good morning. Is it Honey Mar Tiger? What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. I'm seeing a lot of names I'm not familiar with. I've been doing these now for a couple of months. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you have a question, drop in the comments. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Grammy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Mimi. Good morning, Kevin. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, drop a yes in the comments. Always curious when I say to people, most people just don't want to say anything. And I know I've jumped on plenty of other people's lives. You could be laying on your couch with your phone in your hand and jump on somebody's live. You could be sitting on the toilet for all anybody knows. There's no accountability. Good morning, Steve. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. And when I ask people, where are you coming in from? Very few people answer, and even less people answer when I say, why are you on social media? Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Teresa. This month, actually, I've been doing this for 14 years. This month is my 14-year anniversary in this industry. I haven't worked a job in 9 years. I started doing this after I lost my job, and that was 14 years ago in August. I couldn't find another one. I was broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt, and I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. I found this industry in digital marketing. I believe that I probably would not have my house. I still have my house if it wasn't for this industry, because I was in foreclosure. And after you miss 3 payments, you're officially in foreclosure. And then they're basically suing you, putting the paperwork through. It's not fun. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Dwayne. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've ever been on one of my lives, drop a yes. I'm seeing names. TikTok does show me who's coming on. I'm seeing names that I don't know. Good morning, Rob. Is it Delilah? If I didn't pronounce that correctly, I apologize. Yes, you're in Arizona. Okay, what part of Arizona? My Philadelphia Phillies are coming to Arizona this weekend. We won the National League East. I don't know if you're a baseball fan, but I am. We play the Dodgers one more game tonight, and then they're off on Thursday, and this weekend they'll be in Arizona playing the Diamondbacks. And I've been to Arizona. I've been to Phoenix. I've been to Chandler. I've been to Sedona, which is actually, that was a beautiful, it's really quiet. And I remember when we got there on a Saturday, we were looking for a place to eat on Saturday night. And we were struggling to find a place that was open. And where I live, yes, Sedona is magical. Where I live on a Saturday night, and this was about 8 o'clock at night, things are just starting to get hopping. More people are coming out, but it was so quiet. I remember we went into a Taco Bell, and the guy was, he was doing the floors, and we were like, can we order some food? We won't stay long, but they were closed, so we had to go find another place. Very quiet. A lot of retirees there. It's beautiful. We went through the Red Rock. We went to the Grand Canyon, which is beautiful. So yeah, nice place. Good morning. Is it Gazi? And I'm probably not saying that correctly. Good morning, Rose. If you're jumping on, if this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, drop a yes. And I'm over here I'm on my computer on my YouTube channel, if nobody says anything, YouTube only shows me the time I've been live streaming and how many people are on. So if you don't say anything, I don't know that you're there. TikTok does shows me when people are coming on. If anybody likes the video, they show me that. If you want to like my video, my live stream, I'd really appreciate that. It helps my account out. It helps my YouTube channel. And I can see that when people, I can see on TikTok, I can see when people like it. I can't see that on YouTube. Good morning, Clippy. Is that what people call you? Good morning, Laura. Where are you coming in from? Good morning, Kate. If you're new on my live, drop a yes in the comments. Love to know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States, and I know there's people from all over the world jumping on my lives, watching my videos on social media. There's over 5 billion people on social media. Love to know why you're on social media. How much time do you spend scrolling on social media? And I think there's a lot of people. I had somebody on the other day. She freely admitted, if I ask you, how much time do you spend on social media? Most people aren't going to answer. She said way too much. And if you're scrolling on social media, you might as well get paid for it. I mean, I get paid from TikTok. I get paid from some other things. TikTok pays me for using it. You do have to meet requirements to get qualified for that. Good morning, Derek. Good morning. Is it Brownie? Good morning, Belinda. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If it's the first time you've been on one of my lives, drop a yes. Good morning, Wendy. If you like my live, I'd really appreciate it. Whether you're on my YouTube channel or my TikTok account, that helps my account. Good morning, Melody. I'm here. I've been doing these every day. Actually, it's over 2 months now. Started doing these. I'm here every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Good morning. This is Lizzie. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I haven't worked a job in over 9 years. This month, September, is my 14-year anniversary in this industry. I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. And when I lost my job, that was 14 years ago in August. The job market was horrible. People were getting 1,500 resumes for one job. It was really hard even getting an interview. And after applying for over a year, I got a total of 3 interviews. I never had trouble getting a job. I was broke, unemployed. I was in foreclosure. I was being sued. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt. And I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. And I found this industry in digital marketing, and I don't think I'd still have my house if it wasn't for that. Good morning, Steve. Worst job I could ever. Never had trouble getting a job. And now I have not worked a job in over 9 years. And eventually the job I did find, and I took it, was a job in a call center making $12.50 an hour. I was clearing $400 a week. I was grateful for it. It kept me I maxed out 6 credit cards with $60,000 of debt. And my autoresponder, which that's out of all the tools I use, it's the most essential tool. When they go to bill me, and that there's a cost involved with that I get an email from them that your credit card failed. And it's I know it failed because it's maxed out. And I had to juggle things around in that job. And I was only at that job for, I don't know, 2 years. And they laid everybody off. They kept 2 or 3 people. They even laid my boss off. And I remember my boss coming on a Thursday saying to us that tomorrow is his last day. So I think there were some things going on. And I really liked him. But they got rid of him, and they got rid of everybody except for 2 or 3 people. They wiped the department out. So yeah, and after going through that a couple of times and walking into a job, not having any idea what's going to happen. Good morning, Miguel. That you're, somebody standing there handing you severance papers and saying, today's your last day. I didn't want to find myself in that situation again. And I took control and made my own economy because I don't have a boss. I'm not on anybody's payroll. I decide when I want to work. I decide how much money I want to make. I decide what I want to do. I don't have anybody telling me what to do, and just the time freedom, because when I need time off to do something, I don't have to ask. Good morning. Is it Yvonne? Good morning. Phil, if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. Good morning, Mina. So I've not worked a job in over 9 years. And I don't want a job. I don't need a job. And I know there's a lot of people on here that get on my live. Some of you are working multiple jobs because you can't make ends meet. And good morning, Bill. And that's exhausting. I did do that at one point a long time ago. I was working a part-time and a full-time job, and I was going to school at night, and I was exhausted. And when I did have a day off, I was so exhausted. I mean, I end up sleeping till like 4 o'clock, and and I had a guy, Hank, on here. There's a few of you that will. I do online marketing, Hudson. I'm making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I haven't worked a job in 9 years, and I was just saying, um, I have total freedom. I don't have a boss. When I need to do something, I can just go do it. I don't have to ask anybody. And if you have a job, you're going to have to go ask your boss. If you need time off, you're going to have to go ask your boss for that. And I don't have to do that anymore. Good morning, Carrie. I started doing this, and it's this month is my 14-year anniversary in this industry. I started doing this after I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was being sued. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt, and I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. I found this industry in digital marketing, and I do believe I would not have my house if it wasn't for that. Good morning, David. Good morning, Lizzie. If you're jumping on, where are you coming in from? If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. This industry, I mean, I've had days in this industry where I've made more money in a single day than I made in a whole month when I still work in a job, and that's been life-changing for me and so many other people. David, okay, welcome, David. You're the first time on my live. Well, thanks for jumping on. Good morning. Is it Jay Williams? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. Good morning, Tammy. And YouTube doesn't show me, like I can only see the number of people on. So if you don't comment, I don't know you're there. TikTok does show me. And if you could like my live, I'd really appreciate it. It helps my accounts out. Good morning. Is it Chef Dino? I'm assuming you're a chef. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Is this the first time you've ever been on one of my lives? Comment yes. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate that. It helps my account out. The reason I'm on social media, I'm curious why all of you are on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. This month is my 14-year anniversary. That is why I'm on social media. And in fact, TikTok pays me for using their platform. You can get monetized on most of them. I would be monetized on Instagram, but they discontinued their program. Good morning, Janine. Maybe good morning, David. Maybe at some point that they will put that back in, but they stopped doing that in 2023. But you can get monetized on the platforms, and they pay you for using it. I've been monetized on YouTube. I've made over 5 figures from that, just from the ad revenue. Once you get in their partner program, you give them Google permission to run ads on your videos, and then when somebody clicks on them, you make money. So it's another stream of income, and that's one thing. Another thing my mentor has taught me about creating multiple streams of income. And when I had a job, I never thought about multiple streams of income. That was my only source of income. When I lost it, I was screwed. I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have a partner to fall back on, and it was a mess. It was a really stressful time. And I'm grateful. I mean, at one point I was cutting mold out of food. I pissed all my family and friends off. And I still have people who don't talk to me to this day because of this. But I had to make this work. I couldn't find a job. And a lot of you, and most people don't want to say it, but I believe most of you're on social media because you're either looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results you want. Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, user 6267. What do people call you? And I believe, well, you got a #1 gift badger. TikTok does give those out. YouTube doesn't do anything like that. But that's why I'm here. If you have a question, drop in the comments. If there's something I can help you with. Good morning, Tanya. If there's something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to do a training on one of these. I did have somebody ask me to do one on social media marketing. And somebody else asked me, I did one on email marketing, because if you're using social media, no matter what the reason, and you've got a message you're trying to get out, you got a cause you're supporting, you got an online business. And I did have somebody on here the other day. She had an organization that helps women who've been victims of domestic violence you still use social media the same way. And most people are not using social media correctly. And if you don't know how to use it correctly, you're probably not going to get the results out of it that you want. And there's over 5 billion people on social media that you can get exposure to, and you can do it all for free. Now, some people, you could do paid advertising, but you can spend a lot of money. Good morning, Mark. You can spend a lot of money on that and not get a return on your money. And I've done that. And before I met my mentor, I didn't know what I was doing. And you could spend a lot of money. Well, Facebook ads are a skill you got to master, but you can spend a lot of money on solo ads, pay-per-click ads. And pay-per-click ads, you do need some kind of skill, because I know when I started, I didn't know any money. Good morning, Jennifer. I didn't know anyone. And somehow I knew people were making money on the internet. I think it was God telling me. I went to Google. I searched make money online. I bought a website. They sent me a 3-page PDF with setting up pay-per-click ads, which I did that. And I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. You don't know what you don't know. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads while I was getting clicks and impressions to the website. Nothing converted. I did that for a year, and I realized that I needed to get around someone who had done what I wanted to do, to learn from them, because you can't do this by yourself. Good morning, GMT Visuals. Good morning. Is it Moses? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Yeah, and somebody here is from, hey, what do people call you? There's just it looks like a picture of a sunrise. I don't see a picture of anybody's face, but what do people call you? Thanks for jumping on. Good morning, Kenya. Hi, Nathan. How you doing? Thanks for jumping on. And I am live streaming you guys in 2 places. Good morning, Kenya. I have YouTube on my MacBook Pro, and I've got TikTok up on my phone. I have software that allows me to do that, and it's one live stream, and I can live stream in two places. If you like my live stream, I'd really appreciate it. That helps my accounts out. TikTok does show me when somebody likes it. TikTok shows me when people come on. And on YouTube, Nathan, and I'm not sure what to call you. Hey, I don't know what your name is. If you drop in the comments, I'd love to know what your name is or what do people call you. I am live streaming in 2 places, and I can't, unless you comment on YouTube, I don't know you're there. TikTok does show me. I'm great, Nathan. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you jumping on. So you can, there is software, and I have access to that software now, and the technology that we have today that does let you stream in multiple places. I know a lot of people, good morning, Joseph. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know, is this the first time you've been on one of my live streams? Nathan, I know you've been on, and there's nobody that I see at the moment that TikTok is showing me that I know you've been on my live. I'm seeing names that I don't know. TikTok does show me who's coming on. And if you like the live, good morning, Marianne. I can see now what people do on these lives. They jump on and on. It's like saying hello, but only he. Okay, Alexander. I'll stick with Alexander. Thanks for jumping on. A lot of people, when you don't put a picture, like a picture of yourself on your social media account, and I did a video yesterday, I put it on my TikTok account and my Instagram account, how to optimize your profile. And because most people don't know how to set up their it doesn't matter what platform you're on. Most of them now, YouTube, you have a little bit more room to write stuff, and Facebook's the same way. But Instagram, TikTok, X, Pinterest, they give you very little space to write anything, so you've got to be concise and to the point. Good morning, Roger. If you like my live, I'd really appreciate it. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, drop a yes. If you have a question, if there's something I can help you with, drop in the comments. I'd be glad to try to help you out. If there's something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to do a training. Good morning, Andy. If it's something I've done, I can do a training. If it's something I haven't done, I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on something you haven't done, but I probably can give you a resource. I had somebody that got on my YouTube live, wanted me to do a video about CPA marketing. I've never done CPA marketing. I've never made any money with it. I know what it is. I know basically how it works, but Okay. Good luck, Alexander. Hope everything's okay. Um, I've never done that, but I could give him some resources. So if there's something that I haven't done, I can most likely give you a resource. I know a lot of things. I don't know everything. I know a lot of people, but I probably can give you a resource if there's something you're trying to figure out and I haven't done. Good morning, Digital Marketing Debt Free. Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Paulina. If you're jumping on, this is the first time you've been on one of my lives. Drop a yes in the comments. Love to know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Lisa. Nobody seems to want to say, very few people say why they're on social media. Good morning. Oh, there's no name there. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. I do believe most of you, you're on here because you're either looking for a way to make money from home or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. And you can't do this by yourself. And I spent actually a whole year when I started doing this. I didn't know anyone um, trying to do this. And I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads. I bought a website. I don't even remember how much the website was. I did that for a year. I didn't make any money. I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. And you don't know what you don't know. I didn't have a mentor. And if I had a mentor could say to me, hey, you're sending traffic to a replicated website. And I didn't have any of the things that I've got now because I have a proven system, I have training, and I have a mentor. And you need all three of those things. You can't do this by yourself. So good morning, 856 Fishing. I'm just going to take it you're a fishing enthusiast. If you're jumping on, this is the first time you've been on one of my live, comment yes. Love to know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. Love to know why you're on social media, but nobody seems to want to do this. And somebody needs to hear this today, so I'm going to say it. Because how many people you're broke, you're living paycheck to paycheck. If you had an emergency, you don't have the money to pay for it. It's your birthright to be wealthy. It's my birthright to be wealthy. God didn't mean for anybody to be broke or living in poverty, and yet so many people are. So somebody needs to hear that today. And you have to feed your mind. If you keep saying you're broke, that's all you're going to get. That's what you plant in your mind. You're going to keep getting that. Good morning, Raider. You're from Raiders from Tel Aviv, Israel. See, I get people from all over the world. Well, Raider, actually, I have to disagree with you. Raider says hard to make money online today. It's not like it used to be. I think there's more tools and technology today than ever that makes it easier because I'm able to, and you can get this down to working like 2 hours a day. I mean, there is work you have to do. I can automate just about everything. So, I mean, I think it's easier. And I've been doing this for a long time. I started in August of, well, actually September of 2011. After I lost my job, I had lost my job in August. I started looking for ways to make money from home. I didn't know anyone at that time, and somehow I knew people were making money on the internet. I think it was God telling me. I literally went to Google. I searched "make money online." I bought a website. They sent me a 3-page PDF with how to set up pay-per-click ads. I was setting up pay-per-click ads. I spent $3,000. I didn't have training. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a system. I did that for a year. I didn't make any money from that. And I knew I had to get around somebody that had done what I wanted to do to learn from them because you can't. And I mean, I didn't know. Did have a replicated website. I know that now, but you never want to send traffic to a replicated website that doesn't convert. And so somebody's made some nasty comments and TikTok is filtering them. Good morning, Daniel. I was born on Sunday and I'm a third born in my family, and you're tired. You have something third born in my family, and you are tired. That's what it looks like to me. Good morning, Lisa. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've ever been on one of my lives, comment yes. Good morning, Marie. So, Raider, I have to disagree with you. Raider was just saying he thinks it's hard to make money online. It's not like it used to be. And actually, Raider, the whole business model I'm using, it's simple, but it's not easy. And simple and easy are not the same thing. Most people don't put the work in. In fact, I've seen, and I did have a mentor of mine tell me that 99% of people will waste your time. And unfortunately, I found that is true. Most people don't do anything. There is a 95% failure rate in this industry. If you don't do anything, I can tell you for sure you're not going to make any money. I've seen people spend in this industry tens of thousands of dollars and do nothing. Um, and I find that fascinating. Yeah, well, actually, Raider, most people today are, and there's people I get on these lives and people following me, they're working two jobs, or some people are even working three jobs to make ends meet. Um, and we have somebody in our group who, she's a single mom. She was working two jobs and trying to support herself and her kids. She was exhausted. She never had any time to spend with her kids. And she started doing this, and now she's made enough money. She's left both of those jobs, because this gives you time freedom and not just financial freedom. You have to, and you need to be around the right people. And the blueprint I'm following, we've got over 55,000 people in our community. And we just had a couple of people. I sent an email out to my list this morning. We had a couple of people. One person, she woke up to $1,800, and another person, she woke up to $9. And one's a stay-at-home mom with three kids, another one's a 67-year-old retired grandma. So it's not, I mean, anybody can do this, but you got to be willing to do the work. YMG, I'm a barber and I need help. I was staying with someone. Please help me. Are you asking me for money? I mean, because that's what I'm getting from you. That you're asking me for money. I don't do that. I'm not a bank. Now I can give you some options. And I put a video up on my YouTube channel that can put some money in your pocket. It's not going to make you rich, but it's amazing to me. Well, so you're asking, okay, well, I'm not a bank, okay? I'm not here to give people money. If you want the video that I did on my YouTube channel, you can send an email to Linda Bomba or go to my website up at the top and get on my email list and say you want the video that I did about, and the things I'm talking about in the video, they're free. They're not going to make you rich. But they'll put some money in your pocket. I mean, you're suffering from a lack of resourcefulness too. So stop saying you need money, because what you plant in your mind is what you get. Start to train your mind, because if you keep saying that, you're just going to keep getting more of that. And you can go to YouTube. You can search "The Strangest Secret" by Earl Nightingale and start listening to that. That's a video. There's a number of the videos are the same thing on YouTube. Just pick one. You can pull it up on your phone. You can listen to it when you're driving, doing laundry, cooking, or whatever, and start planning good things in your mind. Because, and if you listen to that, the first time I heard that, and a friend of mine, Keisha, shared that with me like 8 years ago. The first time I heard that, I thought it was so profound. And Raider saying, I do Uber work as well. True, people need to, true that you really need to know people. Yes, Raider, I agree with you on that. And Uber and Raider's on my YouTube channel. I am live streaming in two places. He says he does Uber. Now, Uber operates in 70 countries. You drive Uber today, you get paid today. If you don't have a car, they have a program that will help you get a car that you can use. And YMG, I don't know your name. And thanks for liking the live. You could drive Uber today. It's not, and I don't know where you live, but they do operate in 70 countries. If Uber is not in your country, you can look at other things, because there's like DoorDash and all that, that you can start working like today and start making some money. Because it's funny, I have people that will leave me a message on a Monday and they're telling me they're getting evicted on Tuesday. And I say to them, well, what I'm doing is not a quick fix. Because I know the first year I did this, I didn't make a dime. Uber, you drive Uber today, you get paid today. Now, when I lost my job, stuff like Uber and DoorDash did not exist. So that wasn't an option. But I do know, and Raider, maybe you can confirm this, I'm like 99.5% sure you drive Uber today, you can get paid today. I've used Uber for transportation. And when I've taught, and the last time I used it, which was a while ago, I was coming back from the airport, the woman who picked me up, she said that you can get paid, she goes, I can get paid today. You can pick that. And she's a single mom. She's driving Uber 7 days a week. And she told me she was able to turn that into a 6-figure income. So it's not like when I lost my job, and where I live too, if you don't want to do Uber, there's tons of jobs around, because just about every place I go into, they're hiring. And even if it's like a restaurant, you never did that kind of work, they will hire you because they're so hard up for people. They will train you. I was out with a friend. We went out for dinner, and the waitress that was waiting on us, she was not only just waiting on tables, but she was also doing the busboy things because they don't have enough staff. So she's doing both. And Raiders tell me you get paid every day. So I am great about that. You get paid every day, drive an Uber. If you don't have a car, they do have a program they will help you get a car that you can use. So there's really no excuse. And you could do, I mean, DoorDash is a little different. They're not going to help you out with getting a car. Uber will. And I don't know how all that works. I don't know the details. You can go to their website, but you could start, driving Uber today and making some money. Because when I got people asking me to give them money, you're saying you're so broke. You said this. Well, first off, stop saying it. Second off, I'm not a bank. And I've been in your situation where I was so broke and I pissed off all my family and friends. I was cutting mold out of food, hoping I wouldn't get sick. But I've learned, I have some resourcefulness. I've learned some ways to make money when I've needed it. And I learned this from a mentor of mine to stop saying, you're broke, you don't have the money, train your mind. If I needed $500 to train my mind and say, how can I come up with $500? Because your mindset is your mindset's going to keep you broke. So stop saying that. And, when you, and him or anybody else, when you jump on these and people start asking me to give you money, that's not why I'm here. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Lady Duck. What do people call you? Thank you. As a tool that you just got a number 2 gift badger, but you keep planting that in your mind. What you plant in your mind is what you get, and that's a really good thing to listen to. And a lot of this is mindset work. Go to YouTube, search "The Strangest Secret" by Earl Nightingale, and start listening to that because you need to reprogram your mind. Because being broke is a state of mind, and if you're broke, you're. And I've been broke. I know what that's like. I got sick of that. And when I was standing in my kitchen and I'm pulling food out, cutting mold out of it, hoping I would get sick, I swore I just never wanted to be in that situation again. And I did something about it because I've been broke. It sucks. But if you keep telling yourself that and you keep telling everybody I'm broke, I need money, I can't afford it, you're just going to get more of that. That it's 100% true. And start listening to "The Strangest Secret" by Earl Nightingale. It's on YouTube. There's a bunch of them. They're all the same. Just pick one. You can pull the video up on your phone. It's about 30 minutes. I started listening to that every day. A friend of mine shared that with me like 7 or 8 years ago. It's life-changing. And the first time I heard that, I thought it was so profound. But you're planning, if you keep saying, you're broke, if you keep saying things are hard, if you keep saying I can't do it, you're just going to keep getting more of that. You have to learn. And a lot of this, 95% of this is mindset. I mean, who are you hanging around? You may have heard this, but if you're hanging around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. Anybody? I mean, I've heard that before. That's totally true. If you're the smartest person in the room, you want to get in another room. You want to be around people who are ahead of you, so you can learn from them. And I've learned so much from so many different people since I've been doing this. This is stuff they don't teach you in school. My parents didn't teach me. I didn't learn it at school, and I surely didn't learn it in college. I got 2 degrees that basically, one of them is in business, and college didn't teach me anything about being an entrepreneur. And this industry really is, it's personal development with a compensation plan. It's about you becoming more. About you becoming the person I'll say God meant you to do what you're supposed to be doing. And so many people, good morning, Aaron, good morning, Sandra, you're stuck and, you keep telling yourself, you're broke, you can't do something. What you plant in your mind is what you get. So stop saying that. And if you feel like you can't do something, start saying, how can I do this? Or if you need money, how can I come up with $500? And train your mind. Because I can't tell you how many times when I've needed money, I've done that. And train my mind. And it's amazing if you can, because if you don't master your mind, it'll master you. I mean, this really is 95% of this is mindset work. And there is work involved. You can get this down to 2 hours a day, but there is work involved. And anybody you see that's successful with this, that's making money, and I'm no exception, they've worked on their mindset. They've worked on mastering its mindset and skill set, and you have to master both. Their skills. I mean, I made a post in our group this morning I've got a video on my TikTok account that video now has got over 2 million views. It has over 40,000 comments. It has over 70,000 likes. I mean, I've mastered some skills, and that's a new account that I started posting on last June. I lost 10 TikTok accounts. I lost 3 Instagram accounts, and I wanted to get back on those platforms. So I had to start from zero. And I just hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. I got monetized. I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram. I'd be monetized over there, but they discontinued their program. It's mindset and skill set. I've mastered some skills. So when I did lose those accounts, I know what to do. I can build it up again. And that's, I mean, you want to focus on mastering skills. You don't own your social media accounts. You can lose them at any time. And you want to build an email list. You want to get people on your email list so you can continue to talk to them. I have somebody over here. Please, I'm Daniel here, and here I'm a Barbara. Please, I'm interested. You're interested in me. What you're interested in? What I do? Let me know, because your message is a little bit fuzzy. If you're interested in what I do, comment yes, and I can give you some information. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Tess. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. And this really is simple. And I do believe most of you, and the way people, and I've been doing this long enough, how people jump on and off on live streams, and TikTok does show me that. So if you jump off and then you come back on, I can see that. YouTube does not. Good morning, Magico. What do people call you? Good morning. A couple of you have just gotten gift badgers. If you like my video, I'd really appreciate it. It helps my account out. But and Raider is on my YouTube account saying that he thinks it's harder to make money online. And I disagree. There's more things to do that you can automate most of it. But there are skills that you have to learn. And YMG, okay, you're interested in what I do. You want to go to my website, and I'm going to put the website here in chat, payudaily.com. You want to go to my website, Daniel. You want to put your email address in there, and then you want to watch. There's 2 videos. You want to read the page. You'll get an email. You want to read that. I have a free PDF. It'll be in the email. There'll be a link there. You want to click on that. You can download and save it to your computer. That's yours to keep. You want to get through all the information, because otherwise you're not going to be informed about what I do and how I do it. Then if you go through all that and you've got questions, you can respond back to my email, and I'd be glad to answer your question. Yeah, but that's what I do. I've been doing this for 14 years this month. I haven't worked a job in 9 years. And there's different business models. I do digital marketing because I make 100%. I'd rather make 100%. There's affiliate marketing and network marketing. They're going to on average pay you 20 to 40%. I'd rather make 100%. It comes direct to me. Nobody's holding my money. And to give you an example, I've done affiliate marketing, high ticket affiliate marketing, network marketing. When I was doing high ticket affiliate marketing, somebody came through my link, and what they bought was $25,000. Now I made 27% of that, which is $6,200. I made that in a day. That's more money than I made in a month when I was working a job. That was great. I woke up to that. But the company made over $18,000 from that, from all my effort. So I'd rather have 100% coming to me, and you're sharing with affiliate marketing or high ticket affiliate marketing. You're sharing what you're earning with the company. Network marketing, you're not just sharing it with the company, you're sharing it with the person who signed you, because they make a percentage, and that's the way network marketing and the compensation plan works. And I'd rather have it all come to me. Me just switching from a business model to digital marketing, where I buy the resale rights to digital products I didn't have to create, and I can sell them over and over again and make 100% profit. It comes direct to me. Nobody's holding my money, which with any affiliate marketing, high ticket affiliate network marketing, they will pay you out. The money goes to the pet. I just gave you, Daniel, look above you. I'll put it in here again. You want to go to my website. It's payudaily.com. I just put it there again. Put your email address in, watch both videos, read the page. You'll get an email from me, read the email. There is a link in the email with the free PDF that I have. It's a 2-hour blueprint that we're using. That's yours to keep. You can download and save it. If you have questions, respond back to the email. The PDF is free. The program is not. There's 4 options. You decide what's the best for your goals and dreams. If you need payment plans, we have some of them too. Depending on if you go and look at it, it's going to show you what's available to you where you live, because it picks up your IP address, and it's different for everybody. If nothing comes up, that probably means there's no payment plans where you live. But that's what I do. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. I have total time freedom. I don't have to ask. In fact, when I'm done this today, I have an appointment. Actually, I think my appointment's at 11:45 to get off this and go to an appointment. That if I was working a job, I would have to ask for the time off. Good morning, present parent. Good morning, is it Gerson? If you're jumping on, let me know. Is this the first time you've been on one of my lives? Comment yes. If you could like my live, whether you're on my TikTok account or my YouTube channel, I really appreciate it. It helps my accounts out. If you are new, comment yes. Love to know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I've been doing this month is my 14-year anniversary. And when I ask people, like, why are you on social media? And so many people don't want to say it. I do believe you're on social media because you're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. So people don't seem to want to say that. I get very few people, or if I ask how much time do you spend on social media, somebody that was on my live the other day, she was honest, and she's like the only person that's answered. She spends way too much on time on social media. So if you're one of those, you say you're only going to get on social media for 15, 30 minutes, and it turns into an hour or two, and you're scrolling, why not get paid for it? Because when I'm on social media, I get paid for it. TikTok is paying me to use their platform. And you do have to, all the platforms that have a monetization program, although I found out Instagram's discontinued, there's, when you meet the qualifications, you can apply for it. And I just hit 100,000 followers on TikTok and got monetized. And I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram. I'd be monetized over there, but they did discontinue their program. They used to pay people for the views, and on your reels, they discontinued that in 2023. Good morning, Rebel. So if you're jumping on, if you're new on my live, comment yes. Good morning, is it Donise? Good morning, Phil. If you're jumping on, love to know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. Love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Nancy. I've been doing this now. This month is my 14th year anniversary in this industry. I've been here every day. I've been doing these for a couple months now. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you've got questions, good morning. Is it Ducius Horcat? What do people call you? If you're new here, comment yes, because I'm seeing names I've never seen before. If you like my video, I'd really appreciate it. Whether you're on my YouTube channel or my TikTok account. But I've been doing this for actually 14 years this month. I haven't worked a job in 9. And I had somebody saying on my YouTube account here, Raider is his name, that he thinks it's harder now to make money from home. And I disagree. There's so much technology, and there's things I've got now that when I started, I didn't have. And with AI, I got an AI course in June, and I've been going through that. And using AI, good morning, Hope, saves me time, which you can get this down to 2 hours a day. So you're not, and when I still did work a full-time job, and the job I lost, I was spending 2 to 3 hours a day commuting in my car, and I do not miss that. And sometimes it was longer than that. And there was one day I left at 4. We were getting a little bit of snow. There wasn't even an inch of snow on the ground. I didn't get home till after 7 o'clock. So I do not miss that at all. And a lot of you, I mean, I had somebody that got on my live the other day. His name's Hank. He was telling me he's working 2 jobs. A lot of you have long commutes. You're working more than one job because you can't make ends meet. And we have somebody in our community who she was working 2 jobs. She's a single mother. She had no time. She was exhausted from working 2 jobs. She had no time to spend with her kids or do anything she wanted. And since she started doing this, and it's digital marketing, she's in our community. She's quit both of those jobs. Good morning, Suzanne. Um, Simple something juice. So I'm going to assume you've got some sort of juice. Good morning, Gria 06. Um, Thinking I'm not seeing that correctly because it's not clear. If you're jumping on, let me know. This is the first time you've been on one of my lives. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'm on the East Coast of the United States, and there's so many people I talk to. And if you don't do anything, you're not going to change anything. They're either working two jobs because they can't make money, ends meet. They don't have any money for retirement, and they're getting close to retirement, or they're already retired, and you can't live off of Social Security. Social Security is like $1,600 to $2,200, depending on when you applied and all that. Nobody can live off of that. Some people, you're up to your eyeballs in debt, and I get that because after the day I lost my job, I was debt free. I had one credit card with nothing on it. If I put something on it, I paid it off at the end of the month. And I turned around, I lost two jobs. I couldn't find another one. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt. I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. I found this industry in digital marketing, and I don't think that the reality is I probably wouldn't have my house if it wasn't for this. And I've had days where I've made more money in a single day doing this than I made in a whole month when I still work on a job. And my commute now, instead of a 2-hour commute, it's not even a minute, where I walk up a flight of stairs in my house. Good morning, Star. I turned a room in my house, and that's where I'm at now, into an office. You get a lot of tax write-offs when you have a home-based business, which is cool. And I can write off the space, the size of this room. I can't write off the whole square footage of my house on my taxes, which is cool. There's a ton of tax write-offs. Good morning, Jessica. If you're new here, drop a yes in the comments. If you have a question, drop in the comments. If you got something you're trying to figure out, if I've done it, I'd be glad to do a training. If I haven't, I probably can give you a resource. I know a lot of things. I don't know everything, but I can probably at least give you a resource. I had somebody on my YouTube live that he wanted me to do a video about CPA marketing. Okay, so Daniel, I'm going to give you some mindset training and some coaching here, and I think probably everybody could benefit. Daniel asked me for information about what I'm doing. He says, I just checked it, but I don't have money. Please. Okay. I've been in that same situation, and your mindset's broke. So stop saying you don't have the money. Stop saying you can't afford it. Stop saying you're broke, because what you plant in your mind, you're going to keep getting that. Learn to change your mind. And what you can do is and if you want an email, get on my list and respond to the email. If you want a video I did of some things that I've done that I've gotten paid from all of them, they're free. They're not going to make you rich. They'll put some money in your pocket. And you need to start training your mind, because first off, you have a lack of resourcefulness of how you could come up with the money. There are payment plans depending on where you live. And I don't have an exhaustive list of, by country, what payment plans are available. You have to look at that yourself. But ways for you to come up with the money to start, and just saying, okay, well, I checked it out. And you couldn't have watched both videos or read the whole page, because you had that for like 10 minutes, and it takes longer than 10 minutes. So you really didn't check it out. And there's 4 options there. You come in where you can feel you can fit in, because there's different payment ranges, and it starts at $100 to like $1,400. So $100 isn't that much, and you need $39 one time for them to build you a website. So your mindset's broke. Yeah, and I'm not here, and there was somebody else on my TikTok live asking me for money. I'm not a bank. But what I can, and I've been broke, believe me, that I didn't have money. And at one point I was cutting mold out of food. I pissed off all my family and friends. Asking anybody I knew for money was not an option. And I've learned to train my mind. I can't tell you how many times when I've needed money, I've trained my mind and say, how can I come up with $500 or whatever it is, instead of saying I'm broke, I can't afford it, I don't have the money, because what you plant in your mind is what you get. And I'd suggest that you're on YouTube anyway, search The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. There's a bunch of videos. Just pick one, start listening to that every day. A friend of mine shared that with me. Keisha shared that with me like 8 years ago. And the first time I listened to that, I thought that was so profound. I started listening to that every day for like over a year. You need to retrain your mind because you're just going to stay stuck in that. And you wouldn't be on here. And anytime anybody says, I don't have the money, to give you an example, I just don't believe people. It's a lack of resourcefulness. I had a guy that told me he didn't have the money. And then he bought something that was $5,000. So I don't believe when somebody tells me they don't have money. And that's not, if you're stuck in that, and you can, Daniel, the other thing you do, and I don't think you went through all the information because there is a link in the email from me with the PDF. You can download that. You can save it. That's yours to keep. And you can go through that. That's pretty hard if you want to try on your own, because that's all the training you're going to get. You're not going to get any mentoring. We have a group of over 55,000 people for support. You can try that on your own. I spent a whole year in this industry working on my own. Daniel, the $39 is just for a website. You have to buy the program. Now you could buy the Launchpad, which is $100. And there's probably, and I don't really think you went through the page or watched the videos. There are payment plans there. You can look at them. And then there is the additional one-time $39 for them to build you a website. It's not just $39. So you could do the Launchpad, it's $100, and then $39 for the website. And you could get set up the correct way, because having a system is important. When I started this, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a system. So I was just sending people to a replicated website. And the issue with that is you only have one chance to talk to them. You want to build an email list because you don't own your social media accounts. I've lost a bunch of them, but now I know what to do. I mean, I lost 10 TikTok accounts. I had one with over 200,000 followers. I lost 3 Instagram accounts. And I started the TikTok account I have now and the Instagram account. I started posting 3 videos on those last June. And I just hit 100,000 followers on TikTok, and I got monetized. I'm close to 100,000 on Instagram. I'd be monetized over there, but they discontinued their monetization program. So there's not one to work, but you can start with the PDF. And you really couldn't have gone through all the information, because you can start at the Launchpad for $100 and then the $39 website fee. You can get in our group. You get access to that. There's trainings throughout the week. You need help getting set up. There's tech calls. You can get on those. You can put questions in the group. I don't use WhatsApp, so I'm not giving you my WhatsApp number. I tell you in the Adidas video what to do. I tell you where to go to sign up. That's it. After that, you're on your own. They may or may not approve you. They pay 1% to 5% if you do get approved, and you're just sending people to a page, which the issue with that is you only have one chance to talk to them. And even if you want to make an extra $500, if you're going to promote Adidas, or really 80% of companies have affiliate programs like that. Walmart, Target, Amazon, on average, they all pay you 1% to 5%. If you want to make $500 a month, you're going to have to get hundreds of sales. I average 900 a sale. If I get 12 sales in a month, that's 10,000. Over 10,000, it's like $10,800. That's a lot easier to get 12 sales than it is to get hundreds. And if you don't know how to use social media, you don't have a following somewhere, you're not going to make any money anyway, because you're not going to get anybody to even look at it. Well, hey, go back to the video, then do that. I tell you where to go to sign up. They may or may not approve you. After that, you're on your own. Well, Daniel, you need more than the $39. If you want to, we need to buy the Launchpad, which is $100, and then the $39 fee to set up your website, because you're not going to even get access to a place where you could get the $39 website until you have to buy one of the programs. The starting programs, the Launchpad, that can get you going, it's $100. You can look and see if you need a payment plan. And again, I don't have there are payment plans. I don't have an exhaustive list of what payment plans are available in what country, because it's different everywhere. It will pick up your IP address, and if there's any payment plans, it will tell you what's available. And I don't know what your name is. It just says Onus. Go do Adidas then. And I was just saying, you'll make 1% to 5% for everything you sell. The company will get more money from your effort, your time. And if you want to make $500, you're going to have to get hundreds of sales a month to make that. Well, go ahead. Good luck. I'm not going to do that for 1 to 5%. It's not worth it. I average 900 a sale, so it's a lot easier for me to get. If I get 12 sales in a month, that's $10,800. Doing Adidas or Amazon or Walmart or Target, because 80% of companies have affiliate programs. You can sign up for free. They'll pay you to promote their products. On average, they pay you 1 to 5%, and you're not going to get any mentorship or any training. And unless if you and I could go, and I'm not going to, I'd have to go off this live, look at your profile and take a look if you got any mojo on your profile. If you know, have any idea what you're doing using social media, and you probably don't, you're not going to get anybody in front of it to look at it, so you won't make any money. And I spent a whole year when I started to do this. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training. I spent money on a website. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads. I didn't make any money. I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. With Adidas, they just give you a page. You don't want to send people just a page, a sales page, because you only have one chance to talk to them, and then they're gone. Most people have to see something multiple times before they make a buying decision. Now, I get some sales on First Touch, but I've been doing this for a long time. Most people are going to have to look at something. In fact, to just give you an example, I had somebody, you want to get them on an email list, and you probably don't even know how to do that. I had somebody got on my email list in October of last year, 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok, and then she just bought something from me this past July. So she was, excuse me, she was on my email list for 10 months before she did anything. So, and you're saying I have one of the best Adidas Palm something. I can promote Adidas, and go ahead. 1 to 5% to me is not worth it. So if you're new to my live, copy, drop a comment. Yes, in the comments. Some of the names I'm seeing, TikTok does show me who's coming on. There's some names I'm seeing that I haven't seen you on before. Good morning. It looks like Jay something. I can't see it. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live outside on the East Coast of the United States. I've got somebody on my YouTube channel that's from Israel. I get people from all over the world on these lives. If you have a question, drop in the comments. Love to know where you're coming in from, why you're on social media. I've been doing these every day. Actually, it's for a couple of months now. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you got a question, you can come on and ask it. If you're trying to figure something out, I'd be glad to do a training. Good morning, Granny of 84. Do you have 84 grandchildren? Wow, that's what it looks like. Good morning, JC. If you have something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to do a training on one of these. I did have somebody ask me to do a training on social media marketing, which I did. I also did one on email marketing, because if you're using social media and you're not using email marketing, that guy that's going to go do the Adidas, he's not using email marketing. And the thing with you just sending people to a page and you're not getting their email address, you only have one chance to talk to them, and then they're gone. And I spent a whole year doing that. And you don't know what you don't know. If I had a mentor would probably said to me, you're sending traffic to a replicated website. They don't convert. And most people have to see something multiple times. And if you think about your own buying habits, how many times do you look at something before you make a buying decision? And yeah, I do get some sales on First Touch. Good morning, Chris. But most of the time, people have to see things multiple times. And to give you an example, I had somebody who got on my email list last October 2024. I did talk to her a couple times on TikTok, and she just bought something from me in July. So she was on my email list for 10 months. You want to learn how to use social media and generate leads for free. And the guy that was on there that's going to go do Adidas and it's not doing any of that, you want to be generating leads for free. There's over 5 billion people on social media. So there's a ton of people you can get exposure to. Generate leads, get them on your email list, and then nurture the leads. And that's why when I spent the whole first year I got into this, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. If anybody wants to like my live, whether you're on my YouTube or on my TikTok account, I'd really appreciate that. I spent a whole year doing that. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads. whatever the website was, and I didn't make any money. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training. I didn't have a proven system. And I knew I had to get around somebody that had done what I wanted to do. So unless you have, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. Unless you have a question, drop it in the comments now. I will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm up to my hour now. I did commit to do these, and I've been doing these for a couple months. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. for an hour. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to end this now. But I appreciate you jumping on. I appreciate the likes, and I'll see you tomorrow.